Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Money Codes. My name is Joel, and I'm here to give you your daily money code fix. On this YouTube channel, we go over everything from credit repair, credit building, business funding, crypto, and everything in between. Now, today is a special video because I'm going to be going over Navy Federal Credit Union, and in my opinion, I believe it is the number one financial institution for consumers like you and I when it's time to build our credit, get high credit limits, and get business funding that is not like pulling teeth in order to get qualified for. I'm going to go over all of that and more, so stay tuned. All right, so now let's jump right into this. So this video, as you can see from the title, Navy Federal Credit Union. Why I really believe this is the number one financial institution if you are serious about rebuilding your credit, building your credit, getting into business lines of credit, and getting into that world. Navy Federal needs to be your number one friend on your journey. And I'm going to show you why. There's several things I want to show you, but I want to give you some high level overarching concepts to think about. And after this video, there should be no question, and you should be trying to figure out how to get inside of Navy Federal. So just by reading the name Navy Federal Credit Union, you can already see that they are a credit union and they're not your traditional bank. Your traditional banks are Bank of America's, Chase, Wells Fargo. Banks are publicly traded companies, so their major responsibility is to their shareholders. They're looking to make a profit. That's why you see a lot of banks have like late fees, overcharge fees, this fee, that fee, interest rates are higher. They're looking to make money and to profit off of consumers. That's not necessarily a bad thing. However, that's just the name of the game. And we use those banks for other reasons. However, with credit unions, specifically Navy Federal, I think they're more for the people. They're less profit driven, which means you're not really going to see a lot of ticky tack type of fees here and there, minimum requirements. Otherwise, they're going to charge you $15, $20 a month for like checking accounts. They're not really going to do that. Credit unions in general are very consumer friendly, and Navy Federal, in my opinion, is easily top two, top three in the US. Now, the one drawback when it comes to Navy Federal, and it depends on how, if you want to look at that as a drawback, but in order to become a member, you have to be part of the military. You have to be a service member. So as you can see here, active duty of Army, Marine, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, Space Force, DEP, ROTC, DOD, veterans, retirees. In some way, shape, or form, you need to be affiliated or with the military. Now, what you can do, as you can see here, if I scroll down just a little bit, they also extend membership to family members. So if your parents, if your grandparents, if you have a spouse, if you have brothers and sisters, if you have children in the military, grandchildren, household members, that means if you are, or if you have a roommate that is living in the same home that you're in right now, you can get that roommate to sponsor you and get you inside of Navy Federal. So it really is like a 6 degrees of separation type of thing here. Even though you may not be directly affiliated with the military, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure you have a grandfather. Maybe you had grandparents that were in World War II or in Vietnam. If you're in college, maybe your roommate was in ROTC in school. I highly recommend that you just be creative. Just write down a couple of names, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody within your immediate circle that is either directly military or maybe they're married to somebody in the military, and you can try to come in that way. But what I do advise, don't try to go online and try to finesse your way through by illegal means, because what Navy Federal can and will do, they can audit you, meaning if you say that you are a military or if you say that your mom is a military, don't be surprised that if at some point in time They may contact you and request some identification, some paperwork to substantiate what it is that you're claiming. So just keep that in mind. They do check. Now, how does the sign up process work? Well, when I signed up, I did it over the phone. The customer service rep asked me some questions. They needed some identification. They asked me for my address, the basic information. But Navy Federal Credit Union, just like most credit unions, they're going to ask you to fund a savings account, and that is for the amount of $5. So $5, as long as you're affiliated with the military or if you're military yourself, $5 is going to open up that savings account, which they require. And the beautiful part about that is there is no minimum requirement. You don't have to put down $500 or $1,000. If you want to keep that account at zero balance, they're not going to kick you out. They're not going to penalize you for that. And just look at what's on their checking account page. Zero liability protection, dividends credited monthly. They're actually on some of the accounts, you're going to be able to earn interest off of what's in your checking account. That's awesome because a lot of big banks don't do that. No monthly service fee. This is awesome. Quick side note, Navy Federal and the other banks and the other financial institutions where I'm going to tell you to go ahead and register with and make accounts with, I encourage everyone to start building relationships with financial institutions. What does that mean? That means open up a checking and savings account, open up a secured card, start doing business with some of these financial institutions so that they can get to know you a little bit better. It's like a relationship as if you were dating somebody. They get to see you using your account, you're paying your bills on time, they're starting to see transactions go in and out of your account. This is going to build data points within Navy Federal Credit Union. This is the strategy that's going to allow you to get high credit limits on your credit cards in the future. But I'll get to that in a second. So let's just keep going down. So you can see here they have a free active duty checking, 0.05 APY, ATM fee rebates. This is awesome. So here's another point that you have to just keep in mind. Big banks, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, you see them everywhere. It's not hard to find one of their locations. Well, with Navy Federal, depending on your location, depending where you are in the US, it may not be so easy for you to just be able to find a branch and just do business. And if you go to an ATM that is not affiliated with your major bank, you're going to accrue fees. But with Navy Federal, you can see here that all of their checking accounts, even the free checking accounts, ATM fee rebates up to 120. So you can go ahead, get inside of Navy Federal, and if there's one not nearby you and you need to go to the ATM and withdraw, they'll actually rebate you up to a certain amount. And depending on which account you're at, the active duty checking is 240. So of course that's more. That's for people that are literally active duty. But for everybody else, $120 per year. I think that's awesome. And notice you're still going to get, even though it's a little bit, it's not the best on the market, but it's something. And at least you're getting something back when it comes to putting something down in your checking account. Let's look down to free campus checking. Provides convenient banking for members ages 14 to 24. So I say all that to say, when you sign up with Navy Federal, go and just fund that $5. You'll open up that account. You'll start that relationship with Navy Federal. Go ahead and get you a checking account as well. They're not going to charge you for it. They're not going to require you to maintain a minimum balance. Otherwise, they're going to hit you over the head with a whole bunch of fees. They're not going to do that. And they have tons of options. Tons of options. But that's just the checking and the savings account. All right, so the next thing I want to go over, and this is where it gets very, very interesting when it comes down to building credit, getting your payment history up, adding some credit mix to your credit profile. Navy Federal offers something called, let's zoom in here. They offer something called a pledge loan. And a pledge loan is very similar to like a secured card. The same way you can walk up to a bank right now, give them $1,000, they'll give you a card for $1,000 secured with your money. Navy Federal does something very similar, but they can do it through the certificate, which is backed by CD, but we're not worried about that. I want you to pay attention to this. A savings pledge loan is fully secured by your savings account, which means that an amount equal to your loan is put on hold. When you pay down the loan, the amount is released from the hold and more funds become available to you. What does this mean? Why do I care about it? And why am I telling you to care about it? So again, we're in the season of tax rebates, tax refunds. As of this weekend, people are getting $1,400 from the government. What people are likely going to be doing is running off, swiping their cards, getting TVs, buying clothes, buying outfits, and then once they spend that money, the money's gone. However, when you get that 1,400 from the government, what you can do to make your money work for you, take $1,000 and put that into your savings account from Navy Federal. Call Navy Federal up and say that you want to create a savings pledge loan, and they're going to take that $1,000 and they're going to give you a loan for $1,000. So that $1,000 cash that you're bringing to them, they're going to put a freeze on it, and then they're going to give you a loan for the same amount. What I want you to do is I want you to pay down about 80% of that. So in this situation, put down $1,000, you get your pledge loan, and then you turn right back around and you pay down $800 off of that $1,000 loan. So now you're left with $200. So on your credit report, you're going to have a $1,000 installment loan reporting on your credit report, and it's going to show that you paid off 80% of it already, which is going to help your DTI. If a bank looks at it, you're going to look like a rock star and like somebody who knows how to manage their payments and their bills. And it's actually going to increase your credit score. How? So now you're going to have only a little $200 installment loan that's left that you're going to be paying literally just a couple bucks a month. Every 30 days, you're going to have another positive payment history, another positive payment history every single month that goes by. And it's going to be reporting back to your credit profile positive payment history as an installment loan. And why is that important? Credit mix is 10%. So you walk into Navy Federal, you take that money from the government, you put that $1,000 down, you get a secure loan, pay that down 80% immediately. They're going to release the held fund that you had before, and that money goes back to you. So at that point, they're only going to be holding $200, and that $800 goes back into your checking account or back into whatever account you want it to go to. And at that point, what I would recommend people to do, well, after I got that pledge loan created, what I'll do, let's look at their credit cards. Navy Federal, if you're not aware of it, Navy Federal has the reputation of having the highest credit limit cards on the personal side for people who don't have the best A1 credit. What do I mean by that? So Navy Federal has their own internal system. They have their own internal scoring system. So when it comes to FICO, a lot of the times you're looking at about a 350 to 850. And most places like Chase, Amex, they'll look at your FICO score, and Navy Federal will too. But Navy Federal, they have their own internal way of trying to figure out if somebody's responsible or not. They have their own scoring system. And a great way to be able to make yourself look good in the eyes of Navy Federal is by doing the things I just told you about. Getting that savings account, getting that checkings account, getting that pledge loan, paying that down, paying that on time. But another thing you can do with that same money that you got back from paying down that pledge loan, go ahead and see if you can get the N Reward secured card. And you would be surprised. So let me scroll back up here because I think I went a little bit too fast. There's a pre-qualify. So what I have seen is some people are actually surprised. They may have high 500s, low 600 credit score, FICO score, and then they're able to actually get an unsecured credit card from Navy Federal, where everybody else will just decline you flat out. Chase and American Express, a lot of times they won't even take you seriously if you're not close to 700 and above. But you can come in here with Navy Federal, and just after a couple of months of just paying on time, doing what you're supposed to do, I've personally seen people walk out with $20,000 credit limits. Now, I do not know too many places that will give out that type of credit limit for credit scores and credit profiles that still have a couple derogatories left on it, that's still just barely in the 600s. This is the main reason why I'm saying Navy Federal, if you're being serious about getting your credit on point, you need to look at them first. Okay? So as I was saying before, if you're unable to get a pre-approval or to get pre-qualified for one of the cards, don't worry about it. I will still go ahead and get that $200 and get you a N Reward secured card. 0% annual fee, perfect for building and repairing your credit. So at this stage in the game, you got the checking account, you got that savings account, you got that pledge loan reporting as an installment on your credit profile. And then on top of that, now you have a secured card. You may have one of the better cards, but however, let's just keep it very basic. Get you a secured card. Now you have a secured card and you have a pledge loan reporting on your credit profile every single month. Every single month, positive payment history, positive payment history. You're just going to keep on doing this. Another thing to keep in mind with Navy Federal, they have a 91-3 rule, meaning after 91 days from the time of opening this card. So let's say today you get in, you're able to get a secured card. 91 days from today, you have to wait 3 billing statements. 91 days, you can call them back up again and try to get one of the better cards. Now, on this video, I'm not going to go through every single card and go over the rewards and the bonus points and all that. I'm likely going to do a separate video just going super in depth. But right now, like I said, I'm keeping it high level just to let you know what's possible, just to be able to sell you on the fact that you need to be inside of the Navy Federal ecosystem because it helps you in so many different areas. So again, just know $200 will be able to get you a secured card. You're building data points with Navy Federal and give it 91 days and you can go to some of these better cards. These cards here, most of them go up to 50,000 in credit limit. The flagship card goes up to $80,000 in credit limit. Now your credit score has to be on point. You're going to have some solid internal data points with Navy Federal. You're building that relationship, but that just gives you an idea of what you can do. And you can have 3 credit cards with Navy Federal. You can have 3. So it is very possible to have one card with 25,000, another card with 25,000, and another card. Let's say you have a flagship card with 30,000 or 40,000 or 50,000. And this is just with one financial institution, just one. Now, why do we care about this? According to a US bank study, 82% of business failure are due to poor cash flow management or poor understanding of how cash flow contributes to business. Cash flow is critical because it is the lifeblood of your business. So for all of my entrepreneurs out there, so all of those people that are thinking that one day, you know what, I want to have my own salon, I want to have my own trucking business, I want to have my own fashion business, whatever it is, 8 out of 10 people fail on their businesses, not because they're dumb and they're stupid, not because that their idea wasn't good, it's because they didn't have enough capital to keep that engine running. I don't care if you have a lemonade stand. You're going to need money to buy some lemons. You're going to need money to buy a jug, some water, some sugar, some lemons. You're going to need money, capital to infuse into whatever you're trying to do. Real estate investing, wholesaling. You're going to need some sort of capital to get you off your feet and to keep you in the game long enough in order for you to start making some profits. So again, one place, Navy Federal. You do this right over the course of 12 months, you can get 3 credit cards. You can easily get 60,000 and above on just your personal side of this credit limit. And then this is not even including the business side. So if you have your information, if you have your EIN number, you're able to even go ahead and get a business account with Navy Federal. And we're seeing guys get 10, 15,000 on that side. So one financial institution, Navy Federal, you do it right. You take care of this relationship. You nurture this relationship. You get those high limit credit cards. At that point, what you can do, because banks like to match other banks, if you have 3 Navy Federal credit cards, all 3 over $20,000 in credit limit, and then you decide to go to Chase and try to get the Chase trifecta, or you try to go to Amex or Bank of America or Wells and try to get some of their product, they'll be able to see on your credit profile that one bank, one credit union has entrusted you to have over 60,000, 70,000 in just credit card limits. I'm not even talking about term loans. I'm not even talking about personal loans. I'm just talking about credit cards right here. Now you'll be able to go to 2, 3, 4, 5. The sky is the limit. Now I will say this in closing: you want your personal credit profile to remain strong, but at a certain point, and then start getting business lines of credit because if you start swiping like crazy and start using your cards for your business and it reports to your personal side, it's going to hurt your personal credit score, and I don't want that. So all we're doing right now is we're just strengthening our personal credit profile to be strong enough to be able to PG, personal guarantee, and then start getting into the business side. And that's when the fun really starts, because at that point, credit limits and credit lines are usually 5 to 10 times more than what you get on personal. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to go too crazy because at this point now I'm starting to get into the business lines of credit, and that's a whole different topic. But hopefully, let me go back to the first page. Hopefully, I've given you at least 2 or 3 or even 4 reasons why Navy Federal Credit Union, if you don't know about them, if you're not hip to them, if you weren't aware of all that they can provide, and I didn't even go over everything, Navy Federal has to be one of the main financial institutions you build a relationship with if you are serious about building your personal and or business credit. Okay, so now you can see why I'm such a big fan of Navy Federal Credit Union. This is one establishment where you're able to build a relationship with over time. So remember, one financial institution, if you build that relationship right and you build that credit correctly, you're going to be able to get 6 figures worth of either credit card limits, term loan, business funding, and so much more. And you already know there are dozens and dozens and dozens of other financial institutions and credit unions where we can do the same sort of strategies with. And when you're able to get business line of funding and credit card limits, high credit card limits, when it's time to become a real estate investor or when it's time to become a wholesaler, or if you want to invest in other businesses, I can't find another easier way to be able to leverage other people's money in order to fund your dream. So hope you enjoyed this video. Always like and subscribe and go down into the comments. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to check you out in the next video. Peace.